I never believed in ghosts. Not until I booked a full week at the Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. They call it America's most haunted hotel. Built in 1886, it looks beautiful from outside, but when you walk in, something inside your chest tightens, like the air itself does not want you there. I came here to document everything for my channel. Ghost stories, real experiences, maybe even proof. Room 218 was the only one available, the same room where people claimed to see a man falling through the ceiling at night. They said his name was Michael, a stonecutter who died during the hotel's construction. I laughed when the manager told me that story, but her eyes didn't laugh back. My first night was quiet, almost peaceful. I set up my camera facing the mirror, left the lights dim, and tried to sleep. Around 3 a.m., I woke up to a soft knock on the door. 3 slow knocks. I thought it was a prank, but when I checked the hallway, it was empty and cold. The kind of cold that makes your bones feel hollow. Back in bed, I checked the footage. The mirror behind me flickered for less than a second. I paused the video again and again, but that flash wasn't a glitch. It was a reflection. Someone standing right behind me. A tall shadow, no face, just the shape of a man leaning toward me. My hands were shaking, but I convinced myself it was lighting. I tried to sleep again, whispering that it's all in my head. But then the air changed. It felt thick, like something invisible was pressing down on me. My camera light turned on by itself. And in that small red glow, the reflection in the mirror moved even though I didn't. I remember whispering stop without knowing why. My voice didn't sound like mine. And right before the camera shut off, I heard something breathing near my ear. Slow, deep, and human. When I woke up the next morning, the room felt normal again. Sunlight through the window, birds outside, but my camera was gone. The only thing left on the nightstand was an old hotel key tag. The number wasn't 218 anymore, it was 203. And that room, according to the front desk, hasn't been opened in more than 50 years. The second morning at the Crescent Hotel didn't feel real. When I asked the front desk about room 203, the woman at the counter froze. She said softly that the room doesn't exist anymore. They sealed it after an incident in the 1940s. I tried to ask more, but she just stared at me like I had said something forbidden. I went back upstairs, trying to convince myself I misread the tag. But when I reached the top floor, the hallway lights flickered, and the numbers on the doors started to blur. 214, 216, 218, no 203 anywhere. Yet the air near one corner felt colder, heavier, like something behind that wall was alive. I placed my hand on the wall. For a second, it felt like someone pressed their hand back from the other side. I left my camera running again that night, determined to catch whatever was happening. I sat in bed, watching the mirror across from me. The red light from the camera blinked in the dark. Around 3 a.m., I heard footsteps again, but this time they came from inside the walls. Slow, dragging steps, then a faint whisper that said my name. My heart started racing. I whispered, "Who's there?" And the whisper came again, closer. My name, drawn out like a breath. I turned toward the mirror, and this time there was no reflection of me at all. The bed, the camera, the room, everything was there, but I was gone. I stood up fast, terrified, and the floor felt uneven, like the ground itself was breathing. The walls began to pulse faintly with light, and the outline of a door appeared right where the cold spot had been earlier. It wasn't supposed to be there. The door was old, wooden, and marked with the number 203. I should have run, but curiosity is a poison. I turned the handle. The room smelled of burnt wood and metal. The air was thick with smoke that wasn't there a second ago. Inside was an old metal bed frame and a single mirror leaning against the wall. I felt a weave of pressure behind my eyes, like a migraine mixed with fear. The mirror started to fog up, even though the room was freezing. And then words appeared slowly across the glass. "You should not be here." I backed up, shaking, and the door slammed shut behind me. My camera on the other side began to beep. I could hear it through the wall, recording everything. Something moved in the reflection, not behind me, inside the mirror. A shape, almost human, crawling closer to the glass from the other side. Its hands left dark marks like blood. I screamed and hit the door, but it wouldn't open. The last thing I remember before blacking out was seeing my own face in the mirror, except my eyes were completely black. When I woke up, I was back in room 218. The camera was beside me. The footage showed me sleeping peacefully all night. No screams, no knocking, no mirror, no room 203. But when I checked my wrist, there were red fingerprints, like someone had grabbed me hard. And the old tag that said 203 was back on the nightstand. I didn't leave the hotel after that night. Maybe I should have, but something inside me needed answers. I wasn't scared anymore. I was obsessed. The kind of obsession that keeps you awake until your thoughts start to whisper on their own. That evening, I went to the hotel archives, a small basement near the old laundry room. Dust covered the walls and the smell of wet stone filled the air. An old man was sitting at the desk, his back turned to me. When I told him about room 203, he didn't react. He just said one sentence: "Some rooms were never meant to reopen." I asked if someone had died there. He looked at me and smiled weakly. "Not someone," he said. "Something." His words echoed in my head the whole night. I returned to my room, but it didn't feel like mine anymore. The walls seemed closer, the mirror slightly tilted toward the bed. I tried to adjust it, but the reflection moved a second slower than me, like it was thinking first. The lights flickered again. The air turned colder. Then came the smell, metal and ash, the same as in that hidden room. The clock on the wall froze at exactly 3 a.m. The second hand twitched but didn't move. I whispered to myself that I wasn't afraid, but my voice cracked halfway. My camera started recording by itself. The red light blinked once, then stayed on. The mirror began to shimmer like water, and I saw the same words again forming in the fog. "You should not be here." But this time, the words faded and new ones appeared. "You never left." I stepped back, heart pounding. In the reflection, my bed was empty. The camera showed the same. I turned around to check, and the bed was untouched, perfectly made, like no one had slept there. Then I saw movement in the mirror, a shadow standing where I had been seconds ago. It had my shape, my hair, my hands, but its eyes were dark, endless holes. It tilted its head slowly and smiled. I ran to the door, but the handle burned my hand like metal left in fire. The walls began to hum with low voices, dozens of whispers saying my name, overlapping like broken radios. I tried to scream, but my voice disappeared. The air pulled from my lungs like something invisible was breathing me in. The mirror started to ripple again. The reflection walked closer, reaching out its hand. I backed up until my spine hit the wall. The whisper grew louder until it became a single clear voice. "Stay. We need you." My hand moved on its own. I touched the mirror. The glass was warm. The moment my fingers made contact, it felt like falling into ice. Everything went black. When I opened my eyes, I was standing in the same room. The morning light was coming through the window, and everything looked normal again. Except my reflection wasn't moving. It just stood there, smiling faintly, blinking half a second too late. I tried to scream again, but no sound came out. My reflection lifted its hand slowly, pressed it against the glass, and whispered something I could almost hear. "You're the one behind the mirror now." The room phone rang once. I turned, shaking, and picked it up. A calm female voice spoke. "Welcome to the Crescent Hotel, Miss Maya. Room 203 is ready for your stay." The line went dead.